Welcome to video number 2. We're going to use the belly button approach to memorizing the ions. Again, you're going to have a periodic table to use, and we're going to use it as a resource. In this video, we are concerned with the anions that end in ATE. They're polyatomic ions with a nonmetal with oxygen bonded to them. The 8 ending means normal amount of oxygen. So what is normal? There are two types of 8s. There are any 8s and there are outie 8s. The any 8s all have 4 oxygen atoms bonded to the central atom. The outie 8s all have 3 oxygen atoms bonded to the central atom. So how do we know what an outie 8 is or what an any 8 is? We're going to use the periodic table to help us figure out what the any's and the outie 8s are. The outie 8s are on the outside of the nonmetals, excluding the noble gases because they do not bond. So the outie 8s are boron, carbon, nitrogen, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. The any 8s are P, S, AS, SE, SB, and TE. Now the outie 8s are very simple to figure out the charges. At least the first 3, the boron, carbon, and nitrogen. It goes in order. 3, -2 for carbonate, -1 for nitrate. The any and outie 8s on the inside of the periodic table, starting with P, AS, and SB, those 3 rows, they're also very easy to figure out the charges. So for phosphate, arsenate, antimonate, they're all -3 charge. The sulfate, selenite, tellurate, they're -2. And finally, chlorate, bromate, and iodate are -1. So let's go ahead and take a look at 2 real quick examples. Carbonate is our first example. First thing I want to know is what kind of 8 is carbonate? Is it an any 8 or an outie 8? So I'm going to look on the periodic table and find out where carbon is. It is an outie 8. So we know, because it is an outie 8, that carbonate is going to have 3 O's to it. So now to determine the charge, we're going to go count -3, -2, -1, starting at boron, and we find out that carbonate is going to be a -2 charge. So finally, carbonate is CO3, 2-. The next example that we have is phosphate. Again, I want to know, is phosphate an any 8 or an outie 8? Phosphate is an any 8, so we know that it has 4 rows. We're going to go -3, -2, -1, numbering those columns so we can figure out what the charge is for phosphate. Phosphate here will have a -3 charge. So putting those 2 pieces of information together, we have phosphate being PO4 with a 3 negative charge. Okay, it is very important that you know how to determine the polyatomic ions that end in ATE, because the suffixes and the prefixes that I have asked you to memorize, and the subject of the 3rd video, is based on the predication that you can identify what the 8 polyatomic ion is. You must make sure that you know the any 8s, the outie 8s, and how to determine the charges for you to be able to successfully use the prefixes and the suffixes to solve all of the ions that you're going to have to find. I hope this helps you. And make sure you watch video number 3.